Washington, Israel and two Arab nations signed agreements at the White House on Tuesday to normalize their relations, a step toward a realignment of the Middle East but one that failed to address the future of the Palestinians. President Trump presided over a South Lawn ceremony where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel and the foreign ministers of Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates signed a general declaration of principles the White House has named the Abraham Accords, after the biblical father of three monotheistic religions, as well individual agreements between Israel and the two Arab states. Mr. Trump pronounced it a historic moment for their region. After decades of division and conflict, we mark the dawn of a new Middle East, Mr. Trump said. The texts of the agreements detail how the three countries will open embassies and establish other new diplomatic and economic ties, including tourism, technology and energy. Israel and the Emirates are beginning commercial air travel between their countries for the first time, and Bahrain has opened its airspace for those flights. They make scant reference to the fate of the Palestinians, but include a call for a just, comprehensive and enduring resolution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The accords are the first such agreements between Israel and an Arab state since 1994, when the Jewish state established diplomatic relations with Jordan. They are also another step toward the formation of a de facto alliance between Israel and the Gulf's Sunni Arab monarchies against their common enemy, Shiite Iran. Pressuring Iran has been a central goal of Mr. Trump's foreign policy, and Trump officials have worked to build a common regional front against Tehran in which Saudi Arabia has played a major role. Speaking from the porch above the South Portico, just below the Truman balcony, Mr. Trump said the accords were just the beginning. Today's signing sets history on a new course, and there will be other countries very soon, that make similar agreements, ending Israel's isolation in the region. In remarks to reporters before the ceremony, Mr. Trump said 5 nations could soon take similar steps, and suggested that one was Saudi Arabia, in what analysts say would be a far more dramatic breakthrough. Analysts believe Sudan and Oman are likelier candidates for normalization in the short term. But they say that Bahrain most likely acted only with Riyadh's blessing, and that the Saudi royals are weighing their own move. Mr. Netanyahu also suggested that more nations would follow. This day is a pivot of history, he said. It heralds a new dawn of peace. This peace will eventually expand to include other Arab states, and ultimately it can end the Arab-Israeli conflict once and for all, he added. The Palestinians expressed their anger over the agreements by launching rockets into Israel from Gaza during the White House ceremony.